Definitely when you send kids to do a job, and sometimes us adults, you want to have somebody to check up and make sure it was done properly.
Bonjour. Oh, sorry. As you can see, I'm just watching my sewing lady on YouTube. Sorry. Got to stop you, Sherry. Right. Yeah. So, bonjour. Today is Tuesday. I'm a bit late getting up today, and I actually feel more tired than I did yesterday. So it's a bit weird. Yeah, as I've said, as you see before, I went for Sharon picked me up and we went for a walk. We've done a similar walk. All the walks are similar, to be perfectly honest, just still beautiful. But what we do is park up in the swimming pool car park. The swimming pool is the La Vague, which means wave, and we park up in that car park because there's nowhere else that we can see that's safe to park where the walks are. And this walk is another one that we've I can't remember if I've put it on video or not, but anyway, it's another walk that we've done before, but instead of turning right we turned left, and it's another one of the old railway tracks. I mean, it's so quiet and so lovely, and because it's lovely and flat, it's a really lovely walk. And then we see bits that we would never ever see if we were in the car, because obviously no cars can go down these paths, and it's just lovely. I can't help but take pictures. I'll slot some pictures in that I did take yesterday, if I haven't already slotted them in. And yeah, so we did that. And what we're trying to do, because an hour is about our limit at the moment. We'd like to build it up to more, but it's not always easy. And the difficulty we've got is because Sharon is shorter than me, her stride is shorter than mine. So, excuse me, it's difficult to get the right pace for us, because I end up not even trying, just being in front of Sharon and have to talk loudly because she's behind me. So it's difficult, but we manage. And there's poor Sharon running behind me trying to keep up with me, but I don't go that fast that she has to run. It's just I feel like that sometimes. But we usually put our timer on our phone for 30 minutes there, so that as soon as that alarm goes off we turn back. And we knew that we had to be done, the shopping had to be done, because we needed to go and do our food shop. We hadn't got lots to do this week, but we had to do our food shop, leave the food. Obviously didn't buy anything cold and frozen. Not that it would have mattered, it wasn't warm yesterday, but the frozen wouldn't have been good, but anything else was okay. And then, so we knew we had to get round quick and then get to the cinema for 20 to 4. Well, was watching the time, and it was my fault. I suggested the times to go, and I said, right, an hour for walk, hour for shopping, then cinema, but not like a fool, not calculating in the time for the drive in there and everything. So it was getting a bit tight, so I'm really sorry, I really should have thought this through. So we managed to walk a bit faster on the way back to get to the car park, and then we drove. Then at that point we were thinking, should we bother shopping, because might be a bit of a rush. But we decided we'd have about half an hour. So thankfully, apart from a few slow cars slowing us down, as they always do in these occasions, we managed to get there, get parked up, get the trolley, and get the shopping done. Might say we didn't have tons to get, so we both had a short list, kept separating, going finding what we wanted. And when we got in there, I put yet another timer on for half an hour, so that I knew we had to get back to the tilt by this time to be able to get in the car to get to the cinema. Now, you know, it's like the cinema as well. When you go, it's always up to half an hour of adverts and previews of other movies and things, so we knew we wouldn't have to be dead on time. And we managed to get to the till with 10 minutes to spare. it's funny what an achievement that was. But yeah, we did. And then because then we had the lady behind us on the till didn't put the barrier up between our shopping and hers, and then Sharon said, "That's not yours, is it?" So 2 or 3 things came into my shop, so then we had to wait for the supervisor to come and then take those items off. So I thought, oh, why today? We're in a rush. But it's ironic, isn't it? That's always the way. So anyway, we managed to get the shopping in the car and drove off. And thankfully the cinema was not too far from where we were, and I wasn't thinking of my bearings, and Sharon's usually awful with her bearings, but we come out where the supermarket is, and before you know it, she said, "We go this way, don't we?" And well, Sharon, well done. I was going to go this way to the right, and it would have took a lot longer. Anyway, we got to the cinema, got our tickets, and the sweet man who sold us our tickets was trying to practice his English, told us it was going to be English but with French subtitles. He said, "It's good for you if you want to learn." And yes, so we went, sat down, and we needn't have rushed as we thought. There was a lot of local advertisements and then a few movies advertised, so it didn't start as it should have done, really. So yes, so we watched the new Amy Winehouse film, and it was excellent. It's just such a very sort of tragic story of hers, really, and we've forgotten how young she was when she died. 27. That's just ridiculous. But yeah, it's quite a choker, but I personally didn't cry. I don't know if Sharon did, I don't think she did, but we both thoroughly enjoyed it. The choice of actress to play Amy Winehouse was just spot on. She was excellent. Apparently she had to learn how to sing, because it's quite a distinctive voice, Amy Winehouse, isn't it? She had to learn how to sing like she did, and spot on. She did it so well. So I recommend it. That's all I can say. If you haven't already seen it, it's worth seeing. So yeah, so then came home, and I decided already I was going to buy a quick throw in the oven dinner for Duncan and I last night, because I knew I was going to be back around the time we would normally be eating, and I'm not great for getting prepared in the morning and getting food ready. So anyway, it worked out fine. And I actually bought their eco range, which is like their budget range. It's lasagna, and it was really tasty. I'm really pleased with it. So that was worth the buy. Sometimes the eco stuff can be just as good, can't it? So yes, I come back at that dinner, and then I obviously ended up just watching TV last night with Duncan and knitting again. And I was falling asleep actually watching TV. I just kept dozing off. We was watching a part 2 of a movie called Rebel Moon. I wasn't impressed, but Duncan thought it was all right. But it was a bit corny in places. You know, sometimes they put music in it just to make it more exciting, and they really stretched it out. I didn't enjoy it in the same way. So I kept sort of dozing off a little bit, and woke up, and then we still had a couple of hours to go, so we watched another movie, which strangely enough had been advertised in the cinema when we were there, and I think it was called Where's Leroy or something like that. And that was okay. It was funny in parts, but yeah, it's another fairly tragic story to it, but it was okay. It wasn't like the one you thought that you would cry to. So yeah, but I was so tired by the time it come to bed. I thought normally I would wait an hour or 2 after Duncan goes to bed, because I don't usually get as tired as him. So, but I thought, no, I'm going to go to bed now, because I'm obviously falling asleep. But I just couldn't get to sleep. I thought, as soon as I put my head on that pillow, and I had my earbuds in, and I'm listening to my soothing voices as I do, I just couldn't get to sleep. So I ended up coming back down here, and I get engrossed in what I'm watching. I end up watching 2 episodes of something I'm watching called Sky Med, which is a Canadian hospital like these, you know, these sort of like paramedics, but they're in planes, and I'm quite enjoying it. A bit over the top in the amount of accidents they have. It's hard to believe that they would have that many accidents in one area, but they do come up with some different stories. And so I watched that, and then I was just about to watch another one, and I looked at the clock and it was 2 o'clock. Oh my God, I'm so late to get to bed. So when I got back into bed, it didn't take too long at that stage to go to sleep. I did have what I call a sleepy tea as well while I was up. And yeah, so it just, I say, went to sleep. The alarm went off this morning. I just switched it off. Duncan come and say goodbye to me before he went to work, and he said, "You're not getting up?" No. So I've literally only been up a short while, but I got up just before 10 o'clock. And then I hate that because I think, oh, such a big chunk of the day's gone. But I obviously needed that sleep. So, oh, by the way, you probably know anyway, I've had a bit of a sore neck and shoulder for a long time. Still can't figure out what's doing it, but it was a bit sore this morning. So I'll just put that on there for a little while. It's just my microwave beanbag thing. So today I'm having a bit more of a restful day because I think it did tire me. Because also I didn't, I did say yesterday I was going to go upstairs to my exercise bike. I did half an hour on that because I'm going to try and get in the habit of doing that every day to get the heart pumping, and then we have this hour walk. So I think it may have been a bit too much because. So yeah, a bit easier today. I may pop into the garden. I might not. I've got a big pile of ironing to do. I was ironing a few days ago, and all of a sudden there was this almighty crash. I'm standing with the iron in my hand, and my ironing board just went smack to the floor. Luckily enough, I mean, I've got one of those irons that's got, you might have remembered in one of my videos, it's got one of the water bucket things under it. It's like a steam iron. Lucky enough, I mean, that hit the floor with the ironing board. I'm just really shocked that it didn't smash. So put that away, and when I turn the ironing board over, there where you've got the slots where you can go for different heights, the metal bar that goes into those slots had snapped. So I'm waiting now for Duncan to repair that. I could go next door into the gîte and borrow the ironing board from there, but it's such a small one and I'm used to a nice big chunky one. I'm not sure. I might, I don't know. But anyway, so I might have some ironing to do. Other than that, I've got sewing to be getting on with as well. So you'll see in the rest of the video how today pans out, but I don't expect to be doing too much. So watch this space. Right, I did come down to the garden. I thought I'd water the plants in the polytunnel, because even though we've had a lot of rain, obviously inside the polytunnel they don't get that water. But before I do that, I thought I'd show you something I've been talking about us doing for years now. There, we finally cleared the pile. Sharon came and helped us last week, and so we're going to clear it a bit more, put a bit of topsoil on there, and then we're going to be planting some wildflowers. And Duncan's going to finish it off nicely. That big piece of wood there is going to go along the back of the fence. But yes, finally we've done it. Sharon wants that rusty wheelbarrow there for a planter in her garden. But yeah, so everything's getting planted now. I say next door he's planting his potatoes and other veggies are in. Everything's coming on okay. So I bought onion plants this year because someone was selling them at the Vid Grenier, so I thought I'd give that a go. In here, yet again, these potato plants come up all the time, wherever they please, even though they weren't in there. But in here is my green beans, Obviously there's lots of weeds there at the minute as well, so we've got to wait for the actual beans to show. And here, up this year I've put my celeriac plants, and in between those will be carrots, hopefully. Along the back fence there you can see Duncan has got down here and trained the blackberry plant to go along really quick while you can still train it, you know, and the branches are still supple. But that's doing what I wanted it to do now. Come along that fence there. The raspberries are on their way. I don't think we're going to get much though. It's not looking very happy. I think it might be too shady there. These strawberries are supposed to be coming back, but for some reason they're not. There's only one that's come back. Those I think they're all year rounders. Those were there anyway. I haven't planted any potatoes this year because we decided we don't use enough potatoes, but as you can see, even though I dug the potatoes up, there's lots of them coming back. Now I've got to hope that it's not going to be like past years where the plant was there but there's no potato on the end of it. We shall see. Oh, the tomatoes are coming on nicely. I'm not going too many because I'm not eating as many, but we still want them because we both do like them. It's just not very good for us. I've planted Gallia melon seeds in there, and quite a lot of them. But so far we've got 1, 2, 3. I mean, I know I don't make many, and I don't expect them to do very well, to be honest. We're not that sort of climate. And in here, before anybody says anything, I know, but I've put carrot seeds because I've not done very well with them just throwing them in the ground. They've never done very well. So this year I've decided to do it like that, especially these cardboard tubes. I thought I could put them straight in the ground, and these I will try planting them from the pot, just as an experiment really. It doesn't take much to do, so I thought I'd just see which works best, if at all. So right, let's get them watered. Also hoping to put that white sink over there so that I can put water in it and a plant or two, and then have some frogs. Hopefully it'll attract the frogs. Right, let's go in. It's got a lot of new growth on the top of that. I was talking about these yesterday. That's two we already had, and Duncan's now varnished them to protect them from rust a bit more. And then we've got two over here. He's actually painted them as well. They actually look nice now. He's tidied them up nicely. Not sure if I said, but we've got a new neighbour next door now. Very young couple. They've been working very hard since they've moved in. Been backwards and forwards in vans, clearing out and doing things, and he's setting up his potager. He's I just see him tidying the garden up there. So it's nice to know we've got keen neighbours that want the house to look nice. Right, I've decided I need to make some bread. Take this off and get hot. been mixing a putra, which is, oh, I can't even remember. I'll put it on the screen if I remember what it is in English. But it's supposed to be a better flour, better for you, vitamins and things. There we go. There we go. If you can hear it ticking, it's just the bread machine in the background. I picked up what they call here a pot au feu. I like to buy these and just chop them up and throw them in the pan, basically to make soup. So I thought I'm going to do that, because very often I put it in the fridge and I forget I've got it. Comes with a bouquet garni. The veggies aren't always great, but it's soup, so it doesn't matter. Just in case, put an apron on. I am feeling very tired, as I said, from what after yesterday. So a bit little past 8, but for a soup they're fine. Yeah, so I am still feeling a bit tired, so I don't think I will do the ironing. Let's get my pot. Cook the onions or the leeks or whatever's in there with a little bit of oil and pepper before I put the rest in. Oil and pepper, oil and butter. I think this is turnip. I can't remember what the French is, but again I'll put it on the screen. That's the bread machine mixing. Turnip. It's such a simple thing to do, is the thing. It's just chop it all up, bung it in and cook it. And it doesn't take long really. Then I get my blender out and mix it all up. What I've been doing is just taking about half of the vegetables out before I blend it. We chopping them down small, and then if something doesn't like a smooth soup, you like soup with like the chunks of vegetables in it, so I tend to try and do that, just chop them down fairly small rather than not, and I'll put them back in and mix it all up again. There's always a load of carrots in these. I assume that's because it's the cheaper vegetable. And once I cut these, I'm just going to rinse them under the tap. The rest of it will go in the compost. Soften them up a lot. You need a couple of litres of stock. Ready for the compost. Along with the stock. It's so rare that I actually fill the kettle up, because when I'm making a tea or anything like that, I literally only put enough in there for that cup of tea or coffee. It's usually tea. Go on, let. I bought 2 huge bulbs of garlic because I want to break. What I've been doing is cutting them down, like mincing them down, and then laying them out in a plastic bag, a freezer bag, and freezing them. Because then I can just take out what I want, throw it straight in. It's already got done, and I'm not letting it go off in the fridge. Actually, I don't know why I'm chopping it any finer, because it's going to be blended down, isn't it? Right, let's one more I think. There we go. Just a French legume stock cube. Obviously add the salt and pepper near the end of the cooking. And what I do is separate it into different containers, freeze it, and then I'll just take that out of the freezer when I fancy a soup. And I'll take this out to the compost. When I warm the soup through, I like to add some cream cheese on top, or put some cream in, or just lately, if I've already got some open, I'll put some coconut milk, just drizzle that on the top, and it all just adds just a little bit more flavour. I like a creamy soup. usual, it's not easy showing you this, not having a cameraman. Do my best. I'm not exact with these measurements, but you sort of get to know, don't you? Just a little bit more. You always add water afterwards. You are actually sitting on my stove, but I'll move you in a minute. Okay, that's that ready to go. Right, the bread will be ready in 3 hours 47. That's mixing in there. And the soup, whenever. I'm not even sure I've actually timed it before. And next I'm just going to do the garlic, but I'm not going to bother showing you that.